There are no spoilers for the upcoming 2018 Broly movie in this video, just thought we'd be kind and let you all know.
Welcome back guys, Anime Balls Deep here with another things you didn't know about Dragon Ball. And once again we called in some assistance from World King Kanji to help us go Dragon Balls Deep into Broly.
Hey guys, wait, hang on, seriously, again? I did not want to go Dragon Balls Deep into Bardock, and I really don't want to go balls deep into Broly.
But once again, before we start delving into the power of the legendary Super Saiyan, let's check out this legendary Super Sale. With the assist of this code, you can get 10% off Dragon Ball merch and other anime clothing at animeraya.com. Just type in ABD Squad.
So, within such a popular franchise such as Dragon Ball, there are always going to be die-hard fans that will know a handful, if not all of these facts. But please keep in mind that there may be others that don't know all of these things. However, we are hoping to try and interest any of you with these facts. Broly's design misconception.
Broly is one of the fan favourite characters when it comes to Dragon Ball. He comes with his own die-hard fanbase, but a lot of people still don't know who to thank for his existence.
Confusion comes from the fact that the general audience thank Toriyama for all of Dragon Ball's characters, where in fact a lot of them actually came from other designers, including the man at Toei Animation in charge of all character designs for the movies and GT, Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru.
And if you watched the last video Kanji and ourselves did talking about Bardock, you'll have heard his name a fair few times.
Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru.
Nakatsuru's Nakatsuru's.
Nakatsuru's
Nakatsuru. 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 Nakatsuru.
Don't ever call me Kakaroto!
The trouble here is, Nakatsuru didn't create all the characters for the movies, however he did do most of them.
If you think it's confusing enough, Toriyama and Nakatsuru art style are so similar. On occasions, Toriyama hasn't been able to tell his work from Nakatsuru's, which led to years of people believing Nakatsuru's designed Broly.
When in fact stated in the Daizenshu guidebooks, accompanied by some of his concept art, there are Toriyama's drawings of Broly, and just after the new Broly movie was announced, Toriyama commented stating that apparently, quote unquote, he drew the designs for Broly, sounding very unsure about all of this indeed. Broly has overwhelming ki, but not power.
One of the things fans adore about Broly was his brute strength and excessive ruthless nature when fighting the Z Warriors in Dragon Ball Z Movie 8. But how strong is he? And is there some false information?
So we all know that Broly is one tough son bitch, demonstrated by his willingness to rag Goku around like a wind chime in a hurricane, but in fairness, this was because Broly's power was around that perfect cell, and the main cast was still pre-Cell Games power level.
Some people assume that Broly power grows by itself, so he doesn't need to train. In fact, some people think he could even go toe-to-toe with Vegeta thanks to the opening movie of Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, showing them fighting each other.
But the reason people believe this isn't their fault. If you've been watching Dragon Ball since it began airing in the UK, USA and Canada, etc., then you remember the Ocean dub and early in-house Funimation dub. They took a lot of liberties with changing words, pronunciations, and in some cases actual plot points.
And one of those things they changed was the word ki to power and energy to make it easier for children and their general audience to understand, not to be confused with power levels or battle power.
Thanks guys, that hasn't made anything confusing.
Sorry, you caught me on guard with that one.
So in movie 8, Broly has just finished serving up his 7th plate of canned kick-ass and just buried the main cast into the rubble of the city. He then bellows some rather blood-curdling dialogue.
In the original Japanese version, Broly says some rather chilling things, followed by the iconic line, "My ki is rising, it's overflowing," and proceeds to let out an array of shining green ki blasts, destroying everything around him.
The reason he's firing off all of these destructive fluorescent shiny mini Piccolos is because his ki is rising so much he can't contain it. Think of it as kind of like a bottle of water you've gone out for a run with, and now you're running, you've removed the bottle cap, and the bottle was full, it's now splashing everywhere. And then when you stop to fill it up, it overflows and goes all over the floor. Well done, that's messy.
But in the dub, iconic yet again,
Getting stronger. Yes, much stronger.
gives off a completely different idea. It's easier to misconstrue that as meaning he keeps getting stronger and stronger, when the truth is he simply has a lot of energy. Caulifla exists because of Broly. Nope, that's not a mistake. We didn't mean Kale, we literally meant Caulifla.
The two most polarizing characters among the fans of Dragon Ball Super have most likely been Kale and Caulifla, met with an array of reactions. Some people like them and some people don't, and in fairness, it's often met with valid points.
But did you know Kale and Caulifla were not originally part of Toriyama's draft? For years since returning, Toei Animation had been poking Toriyama and asking him if he had any ideas to do anything with Toei Animation's favourite recurring villain, Broly.
To which Toriyama kept saying, no. What actually happened here is that Toei Animation saw a fantastic opportunity to get some fan service into the show with the upcoming Tournament of Power. And when I say fan service, I don't mean big jiggly parts of certain characters.
But that's exactly what they did. Toei Animation wanted to incorporate Broly, but they knew that it didn't fit in logically with the story. So they designed Kale. They slapped some fan service on a character fan loved, and tried to give the fans the first female Super Saiyan.
Ooh. So basically, they put some fan service on some fan service for the reason of fan service. Thanks, Toei, you clearly care about us and aren't totally just doing this for the cash.
But when they did this, they showed the design of Kale to Toriyama himself, and he replied by saying okay, and in turn created Caulifla to go alongside her.
There's no real information about whether Toriyama designed Kefla, but most sources point to no, although Kefla's appearance in Toyotaro's manga could suggest otherwise, because of course both the anime and the manga run off Toriyama's bullet points of his original draft. However, Ultra Instinct Omen, the black-haired version, wasn't part of Toriyama's draft, and yet still made it into the manga, same as Vegito Blue.
So the jury's still out on Kefla, but if you're a fan of Kefla, Kale or Caulifla, you can thank Broly for their existence.
Was Kale the reason for Broly's reboot? So some of you may know this already, but when we first found out about Kale, she was revealed in a trailer. She didn't have a name, so we just called her Female Broly. Fast forward to 2018 and we're making jokes about the new Broly movie and thinking, this is male Kale, seeing as Kale was made canon before Broly.
Oh shit!
Here's the interesting thing about all of this. Toei and Toriyama had been in talks about a Broly movie, or the series writing Broly into it. Since the end of the Goku Black arc, and as we mentioned earlier, Toriyama kept saying no.
Eventually, however, Toriyama decided to go back. He was informed so heavily by Toei Animation about just how popular Broly was that he decided to go back and watch the movies. Toriyama originally had no involvement with the original 3 movies other than Broly's original design. How many times can I say original in one sentence? You got me, it's 3!
Which once again, as we mentioned earlier, he forgot he did. It honestly sounds like from how it's written in Toriyama's notes that someone physically argued with him that he designed Broly, to which he eventually conceded.
Which I apparently designed. But the thing here is that he went back and watched the films and then decided, yeah, I think I can do something with this. I'll take this concept, tweak it in places, and then find a way of writing him into the story.
And whilst he was doing that, Toei had already had the confirmation from him to include Kale, which means whilst Kale was being introduced, Toriyama had started working on a Broly movie concept / script.
So why would Toriyama agree to go forward with Kale if he was going to make a Broly movie anyway? Isn't that just confusing?
Perhaps he was hoping that Kale's introduction of her berserk form would serve a nice way to showcase Broly's transformation.
That would be a fair point. However, neither the berserk form nor the legendary Super Saiyan form are mentioned in the new movie.
It's much more likely that Kale being shown to Toriyama with the explanation for her existence is what caused him to go back through the movies and design and think up this new Broly movie, and he didn't want them to cancel Kale's character because he didn't know if the script ideas he had would work, meaning he could still end up scrapping everything.
So no matter how much you dislike Kale, anything's better than Bio Broly. Yikes.
New Broly is stronger than Jiren. Just to reiterate, this was not a spoiler. this was released in the detail of promotional material for the movie.
And in fairness, it shouldn't be too much of a shock. It's a typical anime trope, especially within the Dragon Ball franchise, is that the newest antagonist is always stronger than the previous one. It's always so damn convenient.
But yes, no spoiler guys, but Broly is stronger than Jiren, so technically this will make him the strongest of the universe involved in the Tournament of Power.
Wow.
This news came to us straight from the Saikyo Jump editorial office, as it informed readers of the magazine that the villain in the new movie would be the strongest in the Z Warriors had ever faced. But once again, this should be no shock.
What do you guys think about this news? Even if you'd heard this before, are you happy that Broly is stronger than Jiren, or do you think that that's annoying?
Leave us a comment down below and let us know what you guys think about this. And remember to subscribe to Anime Balls Deep YouTube channel if you are new here, and don't forget to check out World King Kanji 2.
Well, with all that said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really hyped to see what they do with Broly in the new movie, and I'm actually really happy to see him rebooted with a better backstory and not just a crying, whiny child that doesn't like other children.
But be sure to tell us if you're hyped for this new movie, and with that being said, thanks for watching guys. As always, we love going balls deep with you. What the frick did I just say, man? Oh my god.
Unless it's balls deep into Broly.